Me, refugee from Guantanamo Bay, dancing around the border like I'm Cassius Clay.
But Michelle has now been found guilty of using illegally obtained money to get closer to former President Obama during his 2012 campaign and using millions more to bankroll an expensive lifestyle.
Ooh la la la. And here we go. And straight like that, we back, man. How everybody doing out there in the world? You dig what I'm saying? I hope everybody doing well, doing swell, man. As for me, myself, I cannot complain. If I did, nobody would want to hear it. So I tend to keep it to myself. You understand? But if you like what I'm doing over here on this channel, man, like and subscribe to the content, give me the algorithm, and I will go according as I always say. Now, you heard the intro to this here video, man. You heard my musical interludes. You understand what I'm saying? If you passed out and you fainted, you know what I mean, women of the world, when you watching this, let me not be discriminatory. If anybody out there, if you listen to me saying you faint or whatever, I'm sorry. I just get into my bag sometimes, so wipe yourself off, get some water, set up, and let's go through this journey right here. You dig what I'm saying? So leaning into this thing, man, y'all saw one fella by the name of Praswell. Now, if you come from my area, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna date myself, but the grades may, give me away a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But the ladies say like it, so it's cool, I'm rocking with it. But if you come from my days, then you know of the group called the Fugees, you know what I'm saying? The Score comes to mind. The Score was one of the best albums ever put out, you understand what I'm saying? Wyclef Jean, Lauryn Hill, Pras Michelle. The three come together to comprise the musical group the Fugees. You understand what I'm saying? Hadn't heard a lot about Pras in these recent years. Wyclef continued to put out music. I'm not really sure what happened with Lauryn, but Pras has popped up in the news, having gotten himself into a pickle. Let's call it a pickle. Fugees rapper Pras Michelle sentenced to 14 years in prison over illegal donations to Obama campaign. Now, it hit me out of left field too. What? But the first thing that kind of struck me just out of there, Pras 14 years. Illegal donations to Obama campaign. I said, for me keeping up with the political cycle that we got going on these days, I said, goddamn, it's odd. It's odd that I hear Obama now. That's always like a buzzword for them. You know what I'm saying? And from what I'm understanding these days, they're trying to throw that man's name around and others to try and keep the heat off of a current DJT. Let's call him DJT. And so, when I read that, I kind of took it with a grain of salt. And so that prompted me to start looking around a little more and let me see what's really going on and what I can uncover.
Okay, some news just breaking to us in the last couple of minutes. A former member of the Fugees has been convicted of 10 finance-related federal charges, including money laundering and campaign finance violations. You probably remember the Fugees, 90s, Pras Michelle. He was part of it with Lauryn Hill and Wyclef Jean. But Michelle has now been found guilty of using illegally obtained money to get closer to former President Obama during his 2012 campaign and using millions more to bankroll an expensive lifestyle. NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalos joins me now. We have laid out the charges against Pras Michelle, now found guilty. And the details here are pretty interesting. Talk us through it and your reaction to what we're learning in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, this may be colored by the fact that I am a defense attorney, and I actually recently defended money laundering charges in federal court. And money laundering charges are very broadly written as a statute and can be, in my opinion, relatively easy for the government to prove. But in addition, you have FARA violations. That involves an agent of a foreign. Yeah, exactly. It's a law that prohibits, or I should say requires at least registration if you're working on behalf of a foreign national. It's the kind of thing that became widely learned or known during the Paul Manafort era several years ago. But I would argue before that, there were not a lot of regular citizens that knew about FARA, and there weren't a whole lot of FARA violation prosecutions in this country going back a couple decades. So it's not something that's generally known. That's why I think it's a possibility this defendant probably really didn't know that the mere distinction that he was doing the bidding of a foreign national as opposed to somebody else made such a difference. Just to give you an example, one of the allegations was that one of his co-defendants, a foreign national, gave this defendant $20 million to get a photograph with President Obama. Now, if it didn't involve a foreign national and it didn't involve President Obama, if somebody gave me $20 million to get a photograph with Hallie Jackson, I would take that money. It would be lawful, and I wouldn't tell Hallie Jackson how much I was getting paid. And I would definitely try to get that picture done, and it wouldn't be a violation. The existence of that political angle and the foreign national is what makes some of these things criminal. A lot of citizens don't know it.
Now, in that video, you saw the news correspondents go through the charges and some of the details of this case. But, of course, they left out a couple of them, and we will get to them here in a minute. But you can hear that the accounts that he's accused of being unregistered foreign national, contributing into American politics. You hear the lawyer, they'll say that maybe he didn't know exactly who he was dealing with and what he was doing. There's some word about this guy wanting to get a picture with Obama, but nothing really salacious and juicy coming out of what he had to say. So it prompted me again to continue to dig deeper and look around and see what I could come up with, man. And so I've got a couple of excerpts to read to you all about exactly what's going on and go a little deep into the weeds about this here thing. You understand me, man? Grammy Award-winning rapper Praswell Michelle of the Fugees was sentenced on Thursday to 14 years in prison for a case in which he was convicted of illegally funneling millions of dollars in foreign contributions to former President Barack Obama's 2012 re-election campaign. In April 2023, a federal jury convicted Michelle of 10 counts, including conspiracy and acting as an unregistered agent of a foreign government. The trial in Washington, D.C. included testimony from actor Leonardo DiCaprio and former Attorney General Jeff Sessions. That's the Alabama guy. Justice Department prosecutors said federal sentencing guidelines recommended a life sentence for Michelle, whom they said betrayed his country for money and lied unapologetically and unrelentingly to carry out his schemes. I continue. Michelle obtained over $120 million from Malaysian billionaire Low Tech Joe, also known as Jolo. You only live once, YOLO. And steal some of that money through straw donors to Obama's campaign. Michelle also tried to end the Justice Department investigation of Low, tampered with 2 witnesses, and perjured himself at trial, prosecutors said. Low, who has lived in China, was one of the primary financiers of The Wolf of Wall Street, a movie starring DiCaprio. Low is a fugitive but has maintained his innocence. So, you see them wrap it up in a bow as to what this guy Leonardo DiCaprio had to do with the whole thing. Apparently, Mr. Lowe was into Hollywood. And I've read some reports. I got a little more to read as we get towards the end of the video. But apparently, this guy is a guy that was known to pay celebrities out in Hollywood to party with him. Like, damn, you got to be a lame nigga. Let me tell you something, bro. If you got $1 billion out here, and it ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ought to be able to make it obvious enough to the point to where people will flock to you, even if it's just for your money. You dig what I'm saying? You get some bad women on your side, so you know what I mean? Some rich homie friends. You dig what I'm saying? Just by them knowing you got a billion. And if you got 6.7 billion, as they said this man came across, and you got to pay people to be your friend, boy, you have got to be a loser. You understand me and what I'm saying? Jolo might hear this. Now, Jolo, I might try to get you a picture with some gangsters. Don't get mad at me if you see the video. Is some money pop up? I don't even know the fans might be watching this, so some money pop up. I ain't know it was gonna come to me. I might figure like it was just a Patreon donation. Somebody saw my show like, boy, we just fucked with Jack Strong body. Here goes 17 million. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna get to some pictures. I might take some goddamn pictures. You shoot me some bread, Joe Lo. But yeah, man, they said Joe Lo, you dig what I'm saying, was a guy that would pay people to party with him out in Hollywood. And at some point in life, Pras Michelle, I guess after the millions of records money ran out, and I would have thought he was guapped all the way out. But you know, we see these celebrities mess over money a lot. So maybe it was a situation like that. And they say that around 2012, Pras went out here in these streets looking for the score. You understand me? No pun intended, but yeah, that is what happened. So this guy here, this is Joe Lo. Joe Lo does not look to be much of an I could see why Joe Lo might have had to, you feel me? He might have had to pay folk to rock with him, man. That's a hell of a thing. I feel sorry for him. But that's Joe Lo. Joe Lo got all kind of shit going on out here on the planet Diaspora Trump 77. That's the name of the planet right now. And so, you know, I said when we were watching that video, and up till now, I have, I haven't divulged all of the info to you all. And so, like I said, it didn't sound right to me as I was reading this original little rollout. And so I'm like, hold on. Yeah, I know we're dealing with some people up there now that's, participating in the art of deflection. You dig me and what I'm saying? And so I clicked around into some other things. And this came from ABC News AU. I'm assuming that is ABC News Australia. And oddly enough, this would be written in a publication that we have here in America, but by one of their affiliate sites outside of America, because the people that are currently in government right now, I think they putting pressure on these news sources to only really kind of report how they want them to report. So this report says, key points. Michelle is being tried on 11 criminal counts, including lobbying schemes to influence the administrations of former presidents Barack Obama and Donald Trump. I repeat, Michelle is being tried on 11 criminal counts, including lobbying schemes to influence the administrations of former presidents Barack Obama and Donald Trump. The prosecutor said the case is about foreign money, influence, and concealment, as well as political intrigue and backroom dealings. The rapper is also accused of trying to lobby to return exiled Chinese businessman Guo Wenggu. That's the best I can do to China, right? The accusations were made at the start of a trial that prosecutor Nicole Lockhart said will link Michelle to financier Joe Lo, who is suspected of embezzling US $4.5 billion, almost $6.7 billion, from Malaysia's 1MDB Sovereign Wealth Fund and a Chinese government influence campaign aimed at repatriating dissident Mr. Wenggu. So I read that and I'm like, damn, I'm not surprised. Why wouldn't the American outlets, but I guess from a standpoint of getting sued from them folks up there, you dig? I guess I could see them not including it. And I know that the clickbait, the red meat that Barack Obama's name is to people on the right side, the biggest of America. They hear Obama name and you got them, bro. I'll get you. You can sell them Obama laced Fent pill. They'll take some of them. Put Obama might be wide open. You throw the pills in their mouth. So that intrigued me when I looked into it. And so, okay, Mr. Joe Lo, $6.7 billion man. That's a good chunk of change. Now I ain't, you feel me? So you ought to be able to get some folk to rock with you just on the strength of it. That's just what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But some people are socially awkward out here. I'm not, you feel me? I'm not a bully. Don't put that on me. I'm just calling spade what it is. That's what we do here straight like that. We just keep it straight like that. We're gonna praise you when you're doing good. We're gonna get you when you're doing bad. It's just what it is. If you don't like that, and then go somewhere that's slanted. There's plenty of places you can go out there slanted. We ain't slanted. We straight down the middle right here. And I look at these things. I said, damn, bro. Did the things he do warrant a life sentence? They were going to put Pras in prison for life, bro. For what? We understand right now. The tampering of the witnesses, that's a big deal when it comes to law enforcement system here in America. The lobbying, again, from what we understand, is just because either Praz or I guess this other guy couldn't be registered as a lobbyist because he's a foreign national. But I guess they're saying Praz. But at the same time, I don't know about the pardons and what they are naturalized citizens and what their status is. But just here a couple of weeks ago, Trump pardoned a huge foreign cryptocurrency guy, man, that just ran away with a lot of people's money and just did some untoward things. He let him up out of there. And there's been a couple of cases like that, man. So when you look at it, it's like, damn, bro, the last couple of investigations they had has been on the forefront as far as this one. And then you had Cash Patel, bug-eyed ass, out here a couple of weeks ago talking about the 31 arrests around this whole illegal gambling thing with the basketball players. But oddly enough, the only 3 people that they flashed on the camera and seemed to kept throwing names out there with Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and Damon Jones. 3 black basketball players. And then here we go with this, who seems, this seemed to involve a number of individuals, but Praz, 14 years, Obama, you dig? Do not let the necessary conversation parents, Mary Lou and Bob Coltrane, do not let them read this. They gonna swear this is what we've been waiting on for forever. This is what we've been telling you. Obama. He brought in racism and everything. They so stupid, bro. I know it's not for me to hate somebody else's parents, bro, but it's like, oh my God, man, how do you do it? And I'm starting to get irritated with, if they see this, maybe one day, if the necessary conversation people see this, at least Chad and Haley. I love Haley. Haley would. I feel like Haley is only like a second away from me. Like, just fuck this shit. I don't even want no parents no more. I'm done with it. Because she'll give him some smoke, but Chad is just like, okay, move on. Dad, okay, yeah, move on. Oh, yeah, Dad, what? Yeah. I was like, come on, Chad, bro. But yeah, man, that's where we are with this thing. So, you look into those areas and you see why it's red meat. You see why they would write that headline up like that. And so, in getting towards the end of this thing, we got a couple of more details just to provide to you all. You know what I'm saying? So we can fully flesh this thing out. All right. And so it says in the first alleged scheme, it says prosecutors said Michelle agreed to funnel about $2 million from Lowe into Obama's 2012 re-election campaign. Because federal election law prohibits foreigners from donating to U.S. campaigns, prosecutors said Michelle masked the source of the funds by using straw donors. In exchange for helping Lowe, the government said Michelle pocketed $18 million. Through his scheme, the defendant duped the Obama campaign, Ms. Lockhart told the grand jury. A few years later, prosecutors said the focus of Michelle's foreign lobbying campaign shifted as the U.S. Justice Department intensified its investigation into Lowe over his suspected embezzlement of billions from one MDB. Goes on to read, prosecutors said they also tried to lobby the Trump administration at China's behest to return exiled Chinese businessman Guo Wenggu to China. I'm trying my best. For his work on these 2 lobbying campaigns on behalf of Lowe in China, prosecutors said Michelle was paid $70 million. Shit, 70 and 18, bro, at 88, right at 100 meals. God the mighty be damn. Nigga gonna move that, man. I don't give a damn what the crime is, bro. You give me 70 million. Anybody is doing anything. Don't let them hold you to any other false understanding. Prosecutors also said Michelle failed to register as a foreign agent as required by law. So okay, that's the hang up. Prize wasn't registered as a foreign agent, not provocateur, but lobbyist, financier type of situation. Later, after learning he was under criminal investigation, prosecutors said Michelle tried to obstruct the probe by contacting witnesses and sending demand letters to straw donors from the 2012 campaign that threatened them with a lawsuit if they did not repay the funds. Mr. Guo has since been indicted on unrelated fraud charges. That's where we are with that, man. And so I still haven't heard, for them to put Obama's name in the title of this thing. I hadn't heard anything that's Like, where's the smoke with Obama? Where's the smoking gun? Like, where's the tie-in? What are we talking about? And apparently, this is it. Lowe's motivation for giving Mr. Michel money to donate was not so that he could achieve some policy objective. Let me repeat that. Lowe's motivation for giving Mr. Michel money to donate was not so that he could achieve some policy objective. Instead, Lowe simply wanted to obtain a photograph with himself and then President Obama. Instead, Lowe simply wanted to obtain a photograph with himself and then President Obama. But every caption that you see written about this, I won't say in the United States because all of them aren't biased like that, but most certainly the big name organizations that don't want to be sued or kind of want to butter up to Trump, and because if they put his name in it, they know they're liable to get sued. They will all write up their headline as if this is a smoking gun from Obama and we finally found some evidence of impropriety, and they'll look at it with this black nigga Praz and some foreign national from China. You dig what I'm saying? I think Praz is Haitian. Let's just for shits and giggles to say a Haitian, Barack Obama, and a Chinese man. Oh my God, that is nigga. You could just say them 3 words to the MAGA base, and they won't even have to eat food for the next week, bro. I think they could just literally survive on throwing those 3 names around in their brain and just feel the glee of thinking they got something. Whoa, they ain't gonna worry about Trump and Epstein files. We got a China man, we got Barack Obama, and a dog eating, the cat eating Haitian. Shit, they gonna eat on that at least throughout the weekend. You feel me? Grocery stores ain't got to worry about none of your food getting gone. The MAGA base gonna eat those 3 words throughout the weekend. You did what I'm saying. Then we'll get back to regular schedule. Not we, as in I'm a MAGA. Damn, Freudian shit up. He on here grifting everybody. That nigga Jack Travis is a grifter. He is a right winger. That's what they gonna say about me. I can't wait till Amazing Lucas make a video about me. It's gonna be popping. But yeah, man, Price. 14 years, man. I hope he can appeal that. That does not sound like 14 years worth of material. Especially when we see people getting lighter sentences and getting pardons. And maybe you can holler at Trump. Trump is out here throwing out pardons as long as you got your money right. You dig what I'm saying? I don't know if that's extended to Price and his kind. From what we see with the administration, it most certainly is not, but I guess it's worth a try. You understand what I'm saying? And so if he does, and I get the details on that, I'm bringing to my folks. But until then, it's been straight like that. I'm out. Here we go.
I don't know what kind of vibe you think you got off me, but I don't play that way.